Hi there guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks a lot for tuning in again. Happy Friday, 3-day weekend, which is always nice to do. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Very quick one today. Basically, with the Bundesliga being back, we saw loads and loads of goals last weekend. It was really great to have it all back. Obviously, there's another round of fixtures this weekend, and with the title race hotting up and the relegation place is also hotting up as well. I thought I'd give you a quick idea of what's going to be on telly on what days and what channels. So, there's a Friday night game tonight, which is a Berlin derby. Hertha Berlin take on FC Union Berlin, which is their first ever year in the Bundesliga. Obviously the two Berlin clubs, two city clubs, going to be a huge rivalry there. I would say there'd be a massive atmosphere inside the ground, but obviously there won't because there'll be no fans there. BT Sport 1 have got this game on tonight. The coverage is starting at 7:15 p.m, so there's a little bit of build up there, and the kickoff's at 7:30. So tonight BT Sport 1, Hertha Berlin against Union Berlin. So tune in for that one because there'll be some tasty tackles flying in, and there should be some good football being played there. Given the rivalry. So that's the first game. Tomorrow, now there's a festival of football on tomorrow. It starts with a 2:30 p.m. kickoffs. BT Sport have got 3 simultaneous kickoffs going all at once. I would imagine that Raphael Honigstein, a German journalist, and James Richardson, who's obviously the legendary Channel 4 Italian football pundit, he will be presenting he'll be presenting most of the games and the goal show, which takes place on BT Sport as well on a Saturday now. So on BT Sport 2 is Borussia Mönchengladbach, so Gladbach against Bayer Leverkusen. Now, this is probably the pick of the games this weekend. Both teams like to play really good football. Obviously, Gladbach have got Alassane Plea, and they've also got Marcus Thuram, the two very promising strikers up front for Gladbach, who have been scoring loads of goals in the Bundesliga this season against Peter Boss's Bayer Leverkusen side, who've got people like Leon Bailey, Kai Havertz and players like that. So be a really good game to watch out. That one, that's the one that I'm going to be tuning in for on Saturday afternoon. 2:30 kickoff there, with the coverage starting live on BT Sport 2 from 2 p.m. So it'd be good to see a little bit of punditry before the game. Before the game actually kicks in. So. Other games that we've got live on BT Sport tomorrow, 2:30 kickoff again, Freiburg against Werder Bremen. Now, Freiburg been overachieving. They got a great result at RB Leipzig last weekend. Very nearly got all 3 points, which would have been an amazing result really for the manager Strike and his boys, who have been, he's done an incredible job there given their budget and stuff like that. So, they're at home to Werder Bremen. Obviously, Bremen struggling. They're a massive side, Werder Bremen, over in Germany. That they've won the Bundesliga multiple times. Seem to be stuck right in a relegation dogfight this year, and actually look like, it's pretty likely they're probably going to struggle to stay up. At very best, they'll probably make the relegation playoff places. So, must-win game for those guys. That's going to be live on BT Sport 3 from 2 p.m. So, half-hour coverage before the 2:30 p.m. kickoff. So, SC Freiburg against Werder Bremen, BT Sport 3, 2 p.m. for a 2:30 kickoff. Last of the 2:30 kickoff games on Saturday is Wolfsburg. Now, Wolfsburg, obviously massively funded by Volkswagen. They've got the stadium there that's right near the Volkswagen car manufacturing factories and stuff like that over in Germany. They play Borussia Dortmund now. Obviously Dortmund were absolutely fantastic against Schalke last weekend in the derby. Absolutely took them apart 4-0. Haaland and Guerrero and Hazard, and they were just absolutely brilliant. Can Haaland score again? He's keeping up this record. He's pretty much got a goal a game since he's joined Dortmund back in January. You can tune in for that one. That's on BT Sport 1 from 2 p.m. So, half hour's worth of coverage before the 2:30 p.m. kickoff in that one. I can't see anything other than a Dortmund winning that game, to keep the pressure on Bayern Munich. But we'll see how that one goes. So that's Wolfsburg against Borussia Dortmund, 2:30 kickoff, to be shown on BT Sport 1 at 2 p.m. with the coverage starting. All right. So the 5:30 kickoff, obviously, you've got the 2:30 games, and you've got a 5:30 game. So, you could be watching four games in full televised over over on BT Sport on Saturday. So the 5:30 kickoff in Germany on Saturday is Bayern Munich against Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, everybody knows how good Bayern Munich are. Pretty much didn't even get out of second gear against Union Berlin last weekend with a Lewandowski penalty and the Pavard goal. They'll be at the Allianz Arena at home, so it's going to be really strange for such a massive stadium to be so empty, but it's going to become the norm soon. So they're at home to Frankfurt. Frankfurt very, very poor last weekend against Gladbach. They've really struggled this season after such a fantastic Europa League run last year under Adi Hütter, their manager. So that's going to be shown live on BT Sport 1 from 4:45 with a 5:30 kickoff. So I would imagine that the 2:30 goals will be shown in that coverage. So if you can't make the 2:30 games, then be sure to watch a Bayern game, as last weekend they did show the goals going in after it was literally just a few minutes after the 2:30 games finished. The goals and the highlights were shown, so it was very, very handy to watch in case you miss any of the games. So that's the Friday night game, Bayern Munich versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Can't see anything other than a Bayern win, to be honest. They're going for their 8th straight league title, which is just ridiculous. So 5:30 kickoff, coverage started on BT Sport 1, 4:45. Now, there's 3 games on Sunday, which is obviously the 24th of May. There's a 12:30 kickoff, which is Schalke against Augsburg. Schalke coming off the back of that battering from Dortmund last weekend. They're going to want to put things right against an Augsburg team who, aren't digging up any trees and, could still get sucked into that relegation battle. So, that's a 12:30 kickoff. That's going to be shown live on BT Sport 1 at 12:15. So there'll be a 15-minute coverage before the game for that one. The 2:30 kickoff is Mainz against RB Leipzig. So Mainz, they were 2-0 down away to Cologne last weekend and managed to pull it back to 2-2, which was a really good result, seeing as, they're in that relegation mix as well. Obviously you've got Nagelsmann's RB Leipzig, which are always good to watch, but they were very poor last weekend against a very good Freiburg side. So, they're going to want to be able to put that right this weekend. Away to Mainz, not an easy game, but I would imagine they should have enough, and I would imagine that Nagelsmann's been drilling those guys on a training ground to right the wrongs of last weekend. So, Mainz against RB Leipzig, the 2:30 kickoff, that's going to be shown on BT Sport 1 as well. So, immediately after the Schalke against Augsburg game. There's no there's no coverage before the game for this one. It'll just go straight into the kickoff. So live on BT Sport 1 from 2:30, Mainz against Leipzig. And the final game of the weekend, there's no Monday night game this weekend, obviously, because we've got a Friday night game. So I would imagine it's one or the other. And this week it's the Friday night game, which is fine by me. Cologne against Fortuna Düsseldorf. Now, both of these guys obviously in a relegation scrap this year. Cologne, at times they look really, really good going forward against Mainz last weekend, but at the back they were pretty dodgy. So, they're going to want to right some wrongs. Obviously, Düsseldorf played out a 0-0 draw. I think it was against Paderborn last weekend. It wasn't the best game of the weekend, put it that way. So, these two, they're kind of scrapping for every single point. So if you want to tune into that one, it's live on BT Sport 1. So BT Sport 1 have got all the games on Sunday, so one after the other. So you could potentially be watching nearly 6 hours of footy in a row on Sunday. So your missus will be delighted about that one. So try and butter her up on Friday and Saturday night just to make sure that you can watch a 6 hours of football if you want to. That's on live on BT Sport 1 from 4:45 with a 5 p.m. kickoff. So there's 15 minutes worth of coverage on that one. That's all the games round up, lads and lasses. Obviously, hope you have a great weekend. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, I will be doing a little bit of a review video on Monday as to what happened over the weekend, who scored the goals, who got the points, who put in some good performances, who's under pressure. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, obviously let me know. And have a great weekend. Speak to you soon. Cheers in. Bye, guys.